We are going to be looking at some creepy videos, strange and odd news stories, and as always, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. Today is a good day. It's rainy, it's dreary, where I'm from it's Sunday, and I get to make a video on my favorite channel, Seconds of Horror, an amalgamation of different things I like to talk about. With that being said, what in the world is going on over in Mexico? These next series of videos come from the paranormal chick on TikTok.
There is some sort of disruptions coming out of Mexico. I've been sent several videos over the course of several days from the tectonic plate shifting to what appears to be a volcano bubbling up out of absolutely nowhere. And now this video comes from a man named Harvey. It appears to be a giant on top of a mountain. And people are actually warning him that by releasing this video, he could be in trouble himself because people tend to disappear when they release legitimate videos of what appears to be giants in our day and age. Now, this one looks legit. Take a look at this. And we have to question, with all the earth rumblings happening in Mexico right now, is this tied to it? Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
¿Ya viste allá arriba del cerro? ¿Ya viste allá arriba del cerro?
Yeah, whatever that happens to be has to be absolutely enormous, and you can even see it move its arms and legs, and it kind of reminds me of what Andrew Dawson had witnessed over in Canada before he passed away. There were people out there trying to debunk Andrew Dawson's giant, saying it was a radio tower, but I never bought these debunking videos. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was ever able to replicate Andrew Dawson's video, sitting in his location, filming the mountain, filming the radio tower, saying that it was a giant. No. This was also captured in Mexico around the same time.
We have an interesting video coming out of Mexico. This was captured on April 28th, 2025 by a man named Driverless. And there's a couple of things that you need to know. The area that he's filming, there are no loggers. And in fact, they cannot log there. So the idea that a logger is moving a tree is out of the window. Secondly, we've seen this phenomenon before. We call them walking trees, but people have speculated that it may be a Bigfoot or some other unidentified creature moving the tree. We don't know for sure, but this is weird. He literally captured a walking tree that shouldn't have been moving. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
And the lunes they quite in the banda ya te bala o calito watao ye watao ho ito ito jero wa jeng oro đâu tao so lai ha ma jero wa pata ro lai đâu ai ma voi em mismo lao pai te ho y va sa watao ho.
And around the same time these sightings were happening, this was also captured in the Jalisco mountains.
We have a potentially interesting story coming out of Jalisco, Mexico. This was captured by a man who has come forward claiming that the tectonic plates are moving within the Jalisco highlands. It's a huge area that's been disrupted, that's literally separated. The land wasn't like this before, and now you can even hear it moving and smoking. With everything going on in the world and all of our environmental worries and just everything, Could the plates be moving? And is this proof? Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Uno, que miren nada más cómo se mira. Hoy. ¿Es del otro lado? Hoy. No manches. Sorprendente, amigo. Espero que estén escuchando, Hoy. Bien, amigos. La verdad, disculpe si me quedo callado, pero estamos tratando de escuchar lo que se... Es una bien de fondo, ojalá pase pronto y para que escuchen. Allá en el otro extremo, amigos. Para que vean que no es mentira. ¿Ya vieron? Esto, miren, se acaba de caer aquí. De hecho, apenas ahorita que corrimos. Miren, o está hirviendo. Es humo. Wow. O las placas tectónicas se están moviendo, amigos, pero aquí la tierra está abriendo, se está moviendo. Todo se está moviendo constantemente. Esto está sorprendente, la verdad. De hecho, no me puedo acercar mucho porque está bien peligroso. Está bien peligroso aquí. Si me acerco más, podría ya no contarla más. Podemos ver que la tierra está abierta, miren. Toda la tierra está abierta. Si yo me acerco más para allá, me voy todo con ella. Mira, eso está totalmente sorprendente.
Is it possible that things are waking up in Mexico because of an upcoming quote-unquote natural disaster that may take place? And we have to remember as well, under the Jalisco Mountains, there are volcanoes. But Mexico has always been a hotbed for very strange and bizarre sightings. And over in Spain, people continue to hear very bizarre sounds in the skies, and they are saying that this is during a time where construction is not allowed, so this can't be construction. This video was captured by Todd Stevens on TikTok.
Saturday morning, Spain. It's a weird noise, sounds like a metallic noise.
This next video comes from iDetective Author on TikTok, and this video will really creep you out. It creeped me out, especially if you're a parent.
This is grooming if I've ever seen it, and it is so disgusting. This is from a 5th grade teacher to his student, and I have a video of what the parents have to say back to him, but we'll get to that in just a second. Let me read you some of this letter. He says, "Since you made me mad the other day and made me throw away my note to you, I guess I will start over. I am sorry for putting slime all over you yesterday. I thought we could have some fun together, but didn't think about you getting upset with me. You know I truly love you, and no matter what, that will never change. I really love being your teacher, and more importantly, I love how close we have gotten this year. We have had a lot of fun this year and made memories that we'll always remember. On another note, I will say that it bothers me when you look directly into my eyes and lie to me. You forget that I know you pretty well. When you put your head down, ignore me, etc., I know something is wrong. You then typically will talk to all of your friends right afterwards and tell me I just don't feel well, which is a lie. Why do you do that to me? Moving on, I hope you know how much that I love that you're in my class, that we've gotten so close this year. I don't think you are weird anymore." You guys can pause and read the rest, but look how it ends. Love, then the teacher, and then he says, "I'll keep our notes between us." Now this teacher, Jarrett Williams, has resigned. Luckily, the parents found this disgusting note and they turned it in, and they have a message for him. But first, just to add, on Valentine's Day, he sent the class to the library and spent 45 minutes alone with this little girl in the classroom.
Take a hard look in the mirror, truly self-reflect. I would ask him to get some help.
We would want him to read the 2-page letter out loud to us as parents, and I want him to look in my husband's eyes, father to father, and read that letter about our little girl.
Yeah, grooming is definitely the word here, and this letter is so eerie. It goes on to say that, much I love that you are in my class and that we've gotten so close this year, I don't think you are that weird anymore, smiley face. I am glad that you like school, and I hope that I play a huge part of that. Starting today, I will try my best not to smile at you anymore. I know you hate it when I smile or therefore happy. So I'll stop. I hope you write me back, but I won't expect anything. And then he does a frown face. Love, your favorite teacher. And he goes on to say, P.S. I'll keep our notes between us and won't show. And I'm assuming he says anybody. This teacher from Florida, Jarrett Williams, truly had an infatuation with this little girl. He sent her multiple letters telling her he truly loves her, they could have some fun together, and they really need to investigate why he was alone with her for 45 minutes while the other students were sent off to the library. Even more disturbing is the fact that this teacher, he is a father himself. In this next creepy segment, no job seems to be safe from AI, but this next job that AI seems to be replacing is scaring quite a few people.
Next a big step in autonomous vehicles may be on a highway near you soon. Get ready for driverless tractor trailers, and tech companies say they're ready to hit the road. Take a look. These 18-wheelers designed to carry all sorts of cargo, but one thing they won't be carrying is a driver. By the end of the year, Aurora tractor trailers are expected to begin cruising the highways hauling freight between Dallas and Houston. To avoid crashes, the self-driving semis outfitted with 25 sensors, including lasers, radars, and cameras. Within the next 4 years, Aurora said and its competitors expect to put thousands of these trucks on the road. But the CEO with the company touting safety demonstrated the truck's ability to weave through obstacles and avoid pedestrians.
We want to be out there with thousands or tens of thousands of trucks on the road. And to do that, we have to be safe.
A new federal safety regulation will require all the cars and trucks be equipped with automatic emergency braking, or AEB systems, which use sensors to hit the brakes to avoid a crash when the driver fails to. Most new vehicles already have some of these automatic braking forms that the automakers have until 2029 to adopt with these new standards.
Now look, have there been nightmare horror stories where human semi-truck drivers crashed into vehicles and just caused major accidents? Yes. But still, at the end of the day, I feel safer knowing there's a human behind a semi-truck than one of these autonomous vehicles. There is a major theory, and I buy this theory, that Black Hawk that crashed into that American Airlines plane was also flying autonomously. We are also seeing a lot of news articles coming out of autonomous cars also crashing into trees, crashing into houses. These autonomous semi-trucks will be on the roads of Texas and then expand into Phoenix, Arizona at the end of 2025, and then the company says they will then slowly expand all over the United States. And on top of everything else, there goes more good paying jobs now lost and given to AI. Now, I am sure it's not just going to end at autonomous semi-trucks. We're also going to see autonomous FedEx and UPS trucks as well. But the question happens to be, who would deliver the packages then? Well, take a look at these news articles now coming out, like this one on May 4th. UPS explores humanoid robots as Figure AI secures $675 million from Jeff Bezos, OpenAI, and Intel, targeting $9 billion revenue by 2029. This video comes from Lockdown Universe on TikTok.
This is it. UPS workers and drivers. UPS is now going to be initiating a robotic workforce. That's right. They are hiring humanoid robots that may be soon delivering packages to everyone's houses. They are linking up with a company called Figure AI that makes humanoid robots, and they're going to be using it for this giant delivery services all over the world. And UPS is one of the biggest delivery service companies that we have. And many people work for them. Many people love working for this company because they pay well. It's a job that you can get out and get fresh air, get exercise. This is a great job. And many people work hard to get it. And now they're going to give it away to rusty robot robot buckets over here. I think that's a shame. I think that, yeah, they're going to hire and make these 5'6" robots that are going to stand side by side on the conveyor belt at first. But that's how they maneuver them in, right? They're going to maneuver them in that way. They're going to have self-driving trucks. And then all this robot's going to have to do is jump out and deliver it to your porch. And that's it. Is this the end of your friendly UPS driver, or is it the beginning of something else? Leave your comment in the comments.
Which is also interesting because I'm reading these articles here that were published today around the same time that these articles are coming out, that due to new or increased tariffs, UPS is cutting around 20,000 jobs. So UPS will be laying off more people. And I mean, they've been doing so even before the tariffs. So again, going back to one of my previous videos that I made, I think a couple months ago, where Bill Gates said that nobody in the future will have a job. Every job will be replaceable when it comes to AI and these robots. And that's very true. We're seeing it happen in real time. And with all these stories coming out about these teachers, like the one I included in this segment, more and more people will feel better if there's a robot teacher in the classroom. This next video is from Neil Sakaris on TikTok, who's going to go ahead and show us a very creepy TED Talk.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want you to meet your new friend, Neo, a humanoid robot coming to a home near you.
And as these systems and AIs now become both physical and agentic, we can start to work towards a future where we actually have an abundance of labor.
Yeah, for sure.
We can start towards lifting humanity out of this constant battle over scarcity of resources and create a world where everyone has what they need.
Oh,
and I think
so
that will, to some extent, actually redefine what it means to be human.
By the way, you should listen to this TED Talk episode on YouTube. I believe you'll find it enlightening.
To now finally be able to build a machine that can do almost anything that a human can do. But it begs the big question, of course, when will they be fully autonomous? When will they actually become truly intelligent? And what is the path that will actually take us there? And I think this will be very obvious in retrospective. They need to live and learn among us. We actually need to take these machines and we need to adopt them. We need to put them into our society and let them learn just as we do.
Okay, that might be one of the most wild things I've ever heard. Because let's not pretend that these robots are being made to help us take out the trash, to fold our laundry, right? They're teaching these things kung fu. What? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe their intention is just to make it look like a sweet dog, bringing happiness and protection. Maybe. And let's not forget about this post made only a few days ago that there will be a legion of Optimus robots this year.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Doesn't work out.
Back in 2022, we took our previous generation wheeled humanoid, Eve, and we put it in the industry.
Isn't that fascinating that they call this robot Neo, like from the Matrix, the one who saves the world, and then they called the other robot Eve?
Doing the same task over and over every day, and it's the only thing you're doing, you're not going to get very intelligent. There's no information there. And also, you're going to generally become very narrow-minded, right? We don't like being narrow-minded. In not so long, just like we take energy for granted around us, we will be able to take labor around us for granted. And we might soon not even remember the day where there wasn't always like a helping hand available for anything we wanted to do. But as these machines go around in our society and learn, to me, this journey is about a lot more than just you not having to do your laundry. It's about creating a future where we actually have time to focus on what matters to us as humans.
Oh, sure.
And getting rid of these constraints.
You heard that right? It's coming soon.
I hope we can get a future where we have humanoid robots like Neo that is actually building particle accelerators, that is building labs. We will have millions of robots around in the world doing high-quality, repetitive experiments in labs and helping us progress science at a pace that we have never seen before.
Notice that he said millions in just labs alone. That's obviously not including every other robot that's being made right now around the world, not just by the US, but by many governments that are making these.
And I hope that in the future, through this kind of like a symbiosis between man and machine, we can start trying to answer some of the remaining big unanswered questions about the universe and our role here.
The Bible.
And I think if we can do that,
I'm pretty sure that if the Lord doesn't come back within the next year to 2 years, we're going to start seeing these things walking all over the streets.
People keep asking me to do a video on this individual right here, Abdullah Hashim, but this individual right here is nothing more than a prop propped up by the three-letter agency and other agencies. Isn't it very interesting we see all this news about him pop up after the Pope passes away? Moon Henry on TikTok does an amazing breakdown about this individual right here.
Manufacturing and Antichrist. Are y'all ready to find out who this really is? He's getting a lot of followers lately, but there's a reason for that. Let's go down the rabbit hole. And I'm telling you, you have to see this. There are many things on search engines you cannot find unless you know how to do the workarounds. Last night, I alleged that he was working for certain agencies, United States, Middle East, all over the place. He's not necessarily a fraud. I mean, he is, but he's just doing a job that he was given. A job that he was forced into? It's very probable. Let me show you what I found. So let's start with the basics. As I told you last night, he didn't just pop out of nowhere. He's been making videos for years. But before that, he was making movies and documentaries. But the biggest thing that I see in this is the timing of the come up. You remember what happened last week with someone passing away? I really do wonder how someone who was failing at YouTube could get a global push. What's this behind me? He is the director of this movie, The Arrival, which goes into the Antichrist, the jaw, religion, and all of this stuff. And would you believe me if I didn't say he's trying to fuse the religions into one? Put an end to dividing lies. Let the truth be known. Trying to expose the plans of Satan and his followers by providing details and proofs, the way they control our lives and mind and bind us from the truth and the worship of one God. So what was this guy doing between 2008 and 2012? His explicit online-filled probe the hidden agendas of greedy corporations, governments, media, fashion, movies, celebrity, food, drink, blank to control people. Talking about secret societies and blank flag events and the establishment of the new order. And if you don't want to see me dance around these words like a 4-year-old, go to the red play button. So that what we have is this guy who current day is trying to act like he's the offspring of the main characters of religion, so we should listen to him. He's also been exposing and whistleblowing at the same time making these documentaries on religion. Here's where it gets crazy. With many people seeking to silence me and destroy my mission after I moved to Egypt. So he's not originally from Egypt. He moved to Egypt and learned that the three-letter agency of the United States raided his house and his former web admins living in the United States. Seized all computer materials relating to his old site, which by the way is down and expired. And I believe that this was like 2012 to 14. So now we have this documentary filmmaker, religious leader who's being raided and targeted by certain agencies. Abdullah versus the new something order. Now this is someone that was familiar with his work. Abdullah used to work with the Noriega and something on the Wake Up Project, and he helped them create The Arrival. Suddenly he moved to Egypt and became a follower of Ahmed, the man claiming to be the Yamani. What do you think? Have you ever watched his videos? Wait. So you mean to tell me that after the raid interrogations, all of a sudden he moved to Egypt and he claimed to be some religious leader? It gets crazier because he was apparently doing some stuff in Jordan, and DAWN recently documented the case of several activists targeted by the GID that were trying to change the government in Jordan, and guess what? He was one of them. And I believe he went to school in Indiana University. He's more like my ethnicity than in the Middle East. So we got two options. He was either deceived, then bribed, and overtaken by these 3-letter agencies and 5-letter agencies, over there. Or even his filmmaking and his story makes him seem more credible as if he was on our side. And by the way, if anyone falls for the religion fusion that he's trying to do, this is what their holy book describes their guy looks like. Be very careful who you listen to. And by the way, he says America is the Antichrist, right? Well, if you know what America really is, and if you realize that these agencies know a lot more than you do, especially about history, maybe you should tap into some historical commentary on the scripture from a couple hundred years ago. You might surprise yourself.
So yeah, this guy is nothing more than a manufactured psyop meant to lead people astray. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.